Welcome back to the deep dive. Today we're digging into a really fascinating set of sources on the 99 Nights in the Forest New Year's update.
That's right. This is the second part, the real meat of the story.
And our mission really is to track how the player goes from total festive chaos to building this amazing sanctuary. It's a pretty high-stakes mission.
It really is. I mean, the whole point is saving the new year, the elves are in trouble, and there's this threat the game just calls the evil reindeer.
Right. And we know the final update, the final gift is coming next week. But this is about getting things under control.
And it kicks off with a plan that, on paper, sounds perfect.
It's so simple. The elves thought, okay, let's just use Christmas garlands, Christmas lights to scare the reindeer away. It's the most illogical, festive solution you can imagine.
Exactly. That's what you, as the player, expect to happen.
Yeah.
But that's not what happened at all.
Not even close. The source material is right here. It says the reindeer just walks up to a garland.
Sniffs it.
And just throws it away casually.
Like, it's just trash. So much for that plan.
I mean, it completely torpedoes the entire premise right out of the gate.
Yeah.
You realize, okay, this isn't about scaring something away with light.
No, the reindeer isn't scared. If anything, it seems like annoyed.
Which means the whole strategy has to change instantly. It's not about defense anymore, it's about construction.
It becomes a new mission. Find and hang 12 garlands on very specific trees to build a permanent safe zone. It's not about scaring the reindeer, it's about creating a space it physically can't get into.
Okay, so let's unpack how you even begin to do that. The game gives you a new tool set, and it's a bit strange.
The first thing you see is the new class, the snowman. It's cheap, only 80 diamonds.
Super discounted.
And it comes with a weapon right at level 1, a snowball cannon.
But first, a very important detail. The source notes the player's beautiful pink Christmas hat immediately gets swapped for a shabby blue one.
A true cosmetic tragedy.
A momentary setback. But the real question is, how good is this new snowball gun?
And that's where things get really interesting. The player tests it on a rabbit, and it does almost no damage. Very, very weak.
Okay, so it's not a powerhouse.
Not at all. And what's worse, it has a tiny ammo capacity. Only 30 snowballs. And nobody knows how you're supposed to get more. The reload mechanic is a total mystery.
So you have a cheap class with a weak, limited weapon. At the same time, the player can buy something else, right? The elf scanner.
Yes,
Yeah.
for 30 candies. And this is pure utility. Its only job is to make elves show up on your map so you can find them. You do have to build it on a workbench first, though.
So if you step back and look at that, the game is sending a really clear message.
It absolutely is.
Yeah.
You're given a weak combat tool and a strong exploration tool. The game's basically screaming at you, don't fight the big bad reindeer.
Right. Go find things. Go build things. This is a puzzle quest pretending to be a holiday mission.
Which leads us right into the main event, solving the garland mystery.
The mission is to light up 12 trees. But it was super confusing right away because you couldn't just, place the garlands you had.
And other things were acting weird. A Christmas bag that was nearby just vanished. So the player's stuck wondering, where do I even get these decorations?
It's that classic resource puzzle. You need item A, but you have no idea how to acquire it.
And the way the player first discovers it is it's wonderful. It's so absurd.
It really is. They find out you can get the garlands by attacking these wolf-like creatures in the forest.
Using that same weak snowball gun.
So you shoot a wolf with a snowball, and it drops a string of Christmas lights.
The source actually says the player thought it was hilarious. And you have to agree. Garlands on wolves.
Yeah.
It's perfect.
But you have to appreciate the design there. It forces you to use the new weak class you just bought.
It's like a tutorial in disguise. It's not about winning a fight. It's about making you hit the new monsters with the new gun just to see what happens. It unlocks the loot table for you.
So that's the initial discovery, but that's not the best way to do it, is it?
No, not for the long run. That's the first brilliant bit of design. The second is that the player realizes they can get a better axe from a merchant.
And just harvest the garlands directly from certain trees. Much faster, much more reliable.
So the combat drop was like a breadcrumb. It taught you that the item exists. Then the game trusts you to find the more efficient, survival-based way to actually farm it.
And you couldn't just put them on any tree either. They were specific trees outside of the snowy starting area where the 0 out of 12 counter actually showed up.
Right, forcing you to explore. And this created a perfect gameplay loop. You decorate a tree, you get a small reward of 3 candies.
Which you then use to buy things like that elf scanner.
Exactly. The festive goal is tied directly to your survival and utility needs. It's a self-sustaining system.
And all this is happening while the basic survival pressures are still on. The sources keep mentioning the player's campfire kept going out.
That's such a great detail.
It is. It reminds you that while you're trying to save Christmas, you're also just, trying not to freeze to death.
You're building this beautiful, safe place in a world that is still very actively trying to kill you.
So the player grinds it out, gets the last of the garlands, and decorates the final tree. Talk us through the climax. What's the payoff?
It's immediate, and it's huge. The second that 12th tree is lit, a loud bell rings out.
A clear success signal.
And then all 12 trees start glowing together. The entire area just transforms.
And this isn't just for looks. This is a massive tactical shift. Elves start pouring out of their houses.
And the game itself tells you, this biome is now safe and secure.
Which means what, exactly?
It means the evil reindeer can't get in. The raids stop. The player even notes that it stops raining inside the zone. It's effectively a protected sanctuary, like it's under a dome.
You've won. You've created a permanent safe zone.
And with that, your permissions change. The game tells you that you can now live in one of the houses with an elf.
Wow.
And, maybe more importantly, you get permission to build things here. You've gone from a trespasser to a resident. You're part of the community now.
You've established a base, a real home in this hostile forest.
And to top it all off, the game gives you an immediate practical reward. The player finds a gift inside the new safe zone.
And inside is a fuel canister, the one thing they kept running out of for their campfire.
Perfect timing. A reward that directly solves the problem you were just having.
So when you look at the big picture, this was never really about just hanging decorations. It was tactical.
100%. It was about base building. The player has created a permanent, safe outpost.
And we see that play out, right? The elf camp becomes this lively, bustling factory.
Yes, and that elf scanner the player bought. It works perfectly now, showing all the happy, safe elves running around inside the camp.
The zone also unlocks a really powerful new feature, which is all about personalization.
This part is really cool. The player realizes they can now pick up decorative items, like a table, from inside the safe zone and place them wherever they want.
Something that was totally forbidden before.
Exactly. It solidifies that feeling of ownership. This isn't just a place you're visiting. This is your space now. You can customize it.
But there is a reality check here, isn't there? It's safe, but it's not a paradise.
Right. It's a crucial point. The safe zone is secure, but it's not self-sufficient. The sources note it doesn't have a food source.
So you still have to leave.
You still have to venture out into the dangerous forest to gather resources, to hunt, to, eat. The survival loop isn't gone. But now you have a guaranteed safe place to come back to.
A safe harbor. And that leads to the final lingering question. They've built this sanctuary, but the big mystery is still hanging out there.
The ultimate question remains completely unanswered. Why did the elves even come to this dangerous forest in the first place?
Which is clearly the setup for the third and final update.
It's perfect narrative pacing. You've solved the immediate problem, you've secured the base, but you still don't understand the larger context of the war you're in.
It's just such a satisfying arc. You go from the total confusion of a reindeer throwing away your life
to having to farm Christmas decorations off of angry wolf creatures.
And it all culminates in creating this beautiful, glowing, and most importantly, protected home for everyone.
And that really brings us back to that first piece of gear, doesn't it? The snowman class. It was designed to be weak, but it was the essential key that unlocked that first garland discovery. So the question we have to ask is, was its weakness the entire point? Was it just a tool to force exploration? Or will we see the true power of that snowball gun revealed in the final update? Maybe it's not a weak weapon at all. Maybe it's the specific weapon you need to finally take down the evil reindeer itself.
That is the big question. Is it a tutorial or is it a hidden weapon? And for you, the listener, think about this. Now that you have a permanent, safe base in a brutal survival game, how does that change how you play? How does knowing you have a guaranteed sanctuary change the risks you're willing to take out in that forest? That shift in strategy is the real gift here. Until next time, stay well informed.